All right, we are gassed up, ready to go. Come join us as we take a few days and head down 395. All right, first stop, we stopped over here at Cramer Junction. If you have never been here before, or even really traveling in 395, this is a must stop, especially if this place is open too. Usually on the weekends. Nice family museum, quite a collection, cars, aviation, gas, oil, diesel, all that kind of stuff. Always really cool to stop by here, but you can't miss the truck. It's right there on the corner, 395, and I believe the 58 that heads into Bakersfield. But this is always a great place to stop if you're traveling. Just get a little rest stop, wander around the store. It's always one place to stop every time we come by here. So check it out. Good morning. Well, last night, well, not last night, but yesterday afternoon, we came into Trona Pinnacles, which is not far off 395. Pretty easy drive. Got to camp and just decided to chill out for a while. Made some easy dinner. First night in the new rooftop tent, which is awesome. So I'm actually going to do a full review on that later. Yeah, we got through here, explored a little bit, found a nice spot to camp at, and we're gonna roll out of here pretty soon. We just chilled last night. Wind whipped through pretty good at night. The awning came down, but didn't break it, so it put it back together, rolled it up, and that's fine. But everything else is fine. Then the wind died down at probably about 11, and we were fine from then on. But the views around here are incredible. If you've never been here, I highly suggest it. Trona Pinnacles. Just it's not far from Ridgecrest. And I spent a lot of time in Ridgecrest. But we're gonna roll out of here pretty soon. We have a long day today. We're gonna head up further to a ghost town. It's gonna be pretty nice, and then we're gonna head into Lone Pine later this evening. So we'll catch you guys out there, and Take care. Alright guys, so after a couple hours on the road and quite a road back here, we have actually made it to Cerro Gordo. If you have not seen Cerro Gordo on YouTube, I highly advise you check it out, but it's a really interesting story that a guy who came from Texas and he bought this ghost town and he's rebuilding it. But we're gonna see if we can go talk to him. We're gonna go visit the property, check it out, and let's see what we can get into. It was after this point that we had to stop filming, but we were welcomed and encouraged by the staff to walk around and take as many pictures as we want. Located in Inyo County, California, Cerro Gordo's mining operations began in 1866 and by 1875 became one of California's largest producers of silver and lead. For nearly a century, the mine yielded an abundance of precious metals including silver, lead, zinc, and gold. However, in 1957, mining ceased and the town was largely abandoned, earning it the title of Ghost Town. Today, this historic site is open to tourists, offering guided tours of the mines and town. Many original buildings still stand, including the newly under construction American Hotel. The original tragically burnt down in 2020. In 2018, Cerro Gordo was purchased by Brent Underwood, who is dedicated to preserving the site while promoting tourism. His efforts ensure that this place of California's history remains accessible for generations to come. field. Eminent ornamental. Good morning from Alabama Hills. Rolled in pretty late last night, probably around 5:30, so we had to set up quick. But yesterday was a really good day. We went to the ghost town Cerro Gordo, which, like I said before, if you have not been there, check it out. Great YouTube channel. It's called Ghost Town Living. I think there's two. But it's a great channel. We did not get to meet the owner, and we did not get to do any filming. They were pretty adamant about that, which we respected. But got out of there about 3:30. We got into Alabama Hills, set up camp, had a great dinner, and today we have about another hour on the road, and we're going to head up to Bishop, and we're going to hopefully get a spot at the volcanic tablelands, which I've never been to. This is all these videos that I'm making right now are all a place I've never been to, which is kind of cool. So it's going to be new for everybody. So we're gonna check that out. That should be a really good spot, but I've seen that one in videos before. It looks amazing, so we'll see how it does. We didn't get the spot that we wanted yesterday, but we did come across a spot that has like 3 nice little areas. You can see kind of one behind me, and we only had one neighbor. They were nice. They were quiet. They rolled out of here pretty early too, and we're about to roll out and hit the road. We're gonna do some sightseeing and head into Bishop, so take care. my God, could this spot be any more perfect? We didn't go to the tablelands like we wanted to in the first place, but this place is awesome. It's an established campground, so we're at the Pleasant Valley Campground. Sits right on the Owens River. We were lucky enough to get a spot right in this cove, so we don't have any neighbors. There's a spot for one down the street, or down the road, that I don't think anyone's gonna sit there unless they have like a single tent. There's barely room for a vehicle, but we got this little cul-de-sac to ourselves, surrounded by everything. You can hear the creek behind me, and it's running. We're parked right here, and there's the creek, so we're actually going to it right now, and it's right here. We're gonna hear that all night, and that's gonna be absolutely amazing to sleep to. But I think we're gonna stay here another day. I think we're actually gonna stay here tonight, and then probably just chill all day tomorrow, have a 0 day. Then tomorrow night we'll stay here again. Then when we leave in the morning, that's where we're probably gonna head to the tablelands, and then probably just book it out of here and head home. Try to beat the weekend rush, because that'll be Friday, and we don't really want to try driving back 300 miles or 200 something miles on a Friday, on a holiday weekend too. So that's probably what we're gonna do. But we're gonna have some good food and just some killer views, and just enjoy the night, enjoy the day. So take care.
Getting there. It'll be fun.
Let's get realistic. Does it get any better than that? You have the mountains behind you. You have a nice creek running by the campsite. I think we're good here. We're gonna stay here another night, and we're gonna roll out and head home tomorrow. See a couple sights, and just relax for the day. Make another good dinner, and just chill out and enjoy the day. The bugs get pretty bad here in the evening, but got the right bug spray or keep covered up, they don't really mess that much. But this is a good one. I'm really glad we found this. We'll probably be back. And this campsite, even though it's an established campground, I think it's run by the BLM or the county, but this part is very secluded. We took a walk around earlier, and it's nice. We're like the only ones here. I think there's like maybe a couple other van lifers that are hanging out here, but this is great. We haven't heard a peep out of anybody, and this is a nice day use area, and even they're not loud. So we're gonna hang out some more. So have fun. All right, so as you can probably tell from where I'm sitting, we are back home from our trip on the 395. We got home on Friday. It is now Sunday. So we took a couple days to kind of get things back in order, get the Jeep unpacked, little basic things here and there. And I also want to take a couple days to reflect on the trip itself, because for me personally, it was actually quite a few firsts for me. First thing was that I've never taken this Jeep on a trip that long, and so that was a good thing for me. I wanted to do that because I do have a lot of confidence in it, and so that was a really good feeling to complete this trip. And the second thing was that all three destinations are places I had never been before. They were all places that had been on my radar for a long time and just never had the chance to go until now. So let's start with destination 1, Trona Pinnacles. When you get there, there is a general store, gas station, all that stuff you need to get any supplies there. About, I'd say, 7 to 10 miles outside of the entrance to the Pinnacles. You're on a washboard road for about 5.5-ish miles. It's pretty nerve-wracking if you're familiar with washboard roads. But once you get there, you just have to take it slow, just take your time, be patient. Once you get there, the views are absolutely spectacular for miles and miles and miles. I couldn't even tell you how far the distance was that we could see. There's designated camp spots in the area. They're all marked, so you can mark which ones you can actually park at, and there's actually a few that we found out that you hike to. You just walk to them and pitch a tent, or maybe for backpackers, I don't know. So just keep that in mind. Just keep in mind of what is in the area and what needs to, and where you're going to be camping. Since cell service is spotty in the area, you keep that in mind as well. It does get windy there. It was okay when we got there, but at night it started whipping around pretty good, and then it just died. It just went away like randomly. So there's also, when you get there to the entrance, there's one bathroom, and right at the bathrooms there's a logbook. I guess like a sign-in book. Maybe if people get lost out there, they want to know who's been there. I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning for that is, but you can sign in if you want to. Second place that we ended up at after day 2, Cerro Gordo Ghost Mine. This place has only been on my radar for a couple months, since we just recently found out about it. The road to get there is brutal. You're on a washboard road for about 7 miles, and you're climbing an elevation from about 4,000 feet to well above 8,000 feet. So you're gaining about a mile of elevation in 7 miles. So you have to take your time, use your low gears. 4-wheel drive is not required, but it's probably a good idea. I mean, we passed a couple vehicles on the way down, and I can guarantee they probably weren't 4-wheel drive. If anything, they were all-wheel drive. Respect the rules that they have there. You can go in, you can take as many pictures as you want. The only thing that they ask is you do not fly a drone and you do not film. They were very adamant about that, and they have their own reasons for that, and we want to respect that simply because the owner, Brent, seems like a very nice guy. Unfortunately, we didn't get to meet him. He was out of town, but this is his home. You know, he is letting us into his home, and if we don't respect the rules, then he has every right to say, we don't want you up here anymore. He can actively say that he does not want people visiting him anymore, and that's his choice. We need to respect that. There is no cell service there, absolutely nothing. But I do believe we were told by one of the managers there that they do offer a guest Wi-Fi, which is kind of cool. So if you want to, you know, post any pictures, anything like that, they said you can walk through the buildings, you can take as many pictures as you want. If you find something on the ground that may be an artifact, bring it to somebody and they can go ahead and they can say, yeah, you can go ahead and keep it, or no, it belongs to the museum. You can't take it with you. Again, it's his right to do that. There are only a couple buildings that you can't go into, and it's either because either they're for personal use or for volunteers. Everything else is pretty much free reign, except you can't go into the main Union mine as more of like a liability thing. But they go over all that there when you get there. After Cerro, we ended up to Alabama Hills. Again, a very popular place for camping, overlanding, climbing, anything like that. We didn't get to explore a whole lot. It does get a little touristy. We got there kind of late, so main goal was to just set up camp before dark. Set up camp, eat dinner. We got hungry. But again, great views no matter where we were. All the campsites are marked and designated. So again, just keep in mind of where you are, because we came across some sites that looked like campsites and it said day use only. And then just beyond that, there was a campsite. So it's like every other campsite was a designated site for you. Again, cell service is spotty there. With the views, again, the views are great no matter where you are. But if you get a spot you have Mount Whitney in the distance, consider yourself lucky, because that's going to be one of the best sunrises you've ever seen in your whole life, from what I understand. Unfortunately, we didn't get one. We didn't just have time to search for a site. But that's okay. We're okay with that. We'll be back. There's no reason. This isn't going to be the only time we ever go to these places. Anytime you go to a place, consult the visitor center. They have the best information for you. Right there's a visitor center right there in Lone Pine, right as you drop down. I think it was the 168 and 395. There's a great visitor center. You can get any kinds of gifts you want, which is where I got these stickers. And again, with the cell service, it is spotty in the area. So just depending on where you are, you know, just like anything else. Last, we headed to Bishop. Bishop's been on my radar for a long time, and I finally was able to make it up there. We ended up staying at the Pleasant Valley Campground, and we found out that from the visitor center, there's 2 Pleasant Valley campgrounds. One of them is called the Pit, and one is just a main campground. One is $14 a night, one is $5 a night. It's a good thing if you're in a pinch. On a weekday, these places were deserted. We had our campsite all to ourselves. We had no neighbors. They do have water, so when you go out to fill your water jug, anything like that, you can see that there was no one around. And it didn't start filling up till about Thursday evening. It started getting a little busy, but then we realized it was a holiday weekend, so that makes a lot of sense. Bishop offers a lot, whether you're into hiking, climbing, camping, mountain biking, anything. Again, with the visitor center. So there's technically 2 visitor centers. They're right across from each other. One is the main visitor center that has information on a lot of the tourist attractions. Just down the road on the corner, the other one is more of a ranger station, and they have a lot of information on any BLM dispersed camping, and just general off the grid things that you want to do. Which is where I went. I got more information from them than I did at the main visitor center. But both of them, they're right next to each other, right on the 395. If you're familiar with Bishop and you know Shat's Bakery, they're right across the street from there. So, and you have to stop there when you're in Bishop. That's a given. And the last thing I always mention is the cell service. It was spotty in there, depending on the location of the campsite. If I would walk through some of the campsites, just check around, just random exploring, my phone would start blowing up. When I got to our campsite, it was completely shut down. So it just depends on where you are. I mean, I didn't really mind. We were right next to the Owens River. Had a great waterfall at night, and it was fantastic. I couldn't have asked for a better site, which is why we decided to stay for 2 nights and just take a 0 day. And it was really refreshing and really relaxing. But we didn't scratch the surface in Bishop, unfortunately. So again, it's going to be a place where we're going to head back. We're going back, and we don't know how soon, but this time of year was great because the weather was perfect, and there was so much we wanted to see and so much we didn't get to see, and it's going to be a great thing. So if you've come this far in this video, I thank you very much. If you like, subscribe, everything, all the good stuff. And if there's any content that you want to see personally, let me know. You know, I'm open to anything. I do hiking, you know, do a lot of off-roading, and I do a lot of camping. So you'll see a lot of that too. And I want to, you know, grow the channel a little bit. Again, I'm not looking to make money, but I do want to get everything out there. And when you do go out to these places, please just do a couple things. Respect the rules, respect the tread lightly principles, and leave everything better than you found it. That's the only thing that you can take away from this. But we'll see you again soon, and take care out there. All right, bye.